Well, I would like to say happy days are here again, but they're not. We want to deal with why those happy days are not here, and they're not coming soon for people who don't know their God. The scripture says, "They that know their God shall be strong and do exploits." For those who know their God, every day is a day that He has made for us to rejoice and be glad in. So for those who really know their God, they don't have bad days. Mhm. Every day He's made is a good day for those who know their God. Now, what I'm dealing with today is there's a group of people who believe they know God. They believe they know Him. And under the heading of Mormonism, yes, Mormons say they know God. Muslims say they know God. Jews say they know God. Christians say they know God. Buddhists say they know God. Hindus say they know a whole lot of them, like 30 million of them. And I know people are asking me here lately, because this is an election year, and they say, well, voting for a Muslim didn't do us any good. Should we vote for a Mormon? Well, let me read something that was published in 1912. All right? Been published a good while ago. Now, this is 2012, okay? 100 years ago. This was published by the Council of Women for Home Missions from the editorial department. And it says, the Mormon problem is not primarily a religious one, nor should it be so considered. Wow. The hierarchy which embodies this system has extended its influence into so many lines of our national concerns that Mormonism has ceased to be of merely theological or religious significance. Wow. It must be studied in its relation to government and commerce. You get that? When it comes to Mormonism, it must be not only dealt with in the area of theology and religious factors, but government and commerce, to social conditions, to its influence on state policies, wow, and even on the utterances of the press, before it can be rightly understood as a factor in our present day nationality. That's 100 years ago, my friends. 100 years ago. In all these connections, wow, we must regard by Christian sympathy the followers of Mormon religion in this present day as a danger by its design and its ambition and methods of the all-powerful hierarchy which absolutely controls the affairs of the church and the lives of every one of its members. The undue influence in the affairs of the nation and the councils of the government attained by the powerful body makes its beliefs and practices of national concern. Wow. I could go on and on with that, but suffice it to say that those of you that are going to be voting, you must consider the fact, well, hey, you're going to put a Muslim back in there, or you're going to put a Mormon in there. And look, if he was a Glenn Beck Mormon, that would be one thing. Because Glenn Beck don't know what a Mormon is, really. He just joined the thing because his children wanted to be a part of it. He don't know anything about it. But as far as Mitt Romney is concerned, he is a bishop, an ordained bishop in the Mormon church. So his name is Bishop Romney. So he is in cahoots with the hierarchy that intend to trump the Constitution. I mean, you talking about something that Obama wish he could do. Mitt Romney will be doing it in a flash because they have the kind of power. As a matter of fact, there's a book, if you want some good suggested reading, it's called Mormonism, Islam in America. So Islam and Mormonism are cousins, first cousins at that. They have some of the same tenets. They believe in polygamy. They have some of the same old stuff that runs parallel. So when people tell you a religious qualification is not to be a part of the vetting system, when you vote for a person, I said, I don't know who came up with that. Because whoever came up with that was inspired by the devil. Because if you don't vet a person in terms of the religious factors in their faith, then you'll vote for the Antichrist. That's right. Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter where he gets his power from. Do you know that the beast gets his power from the dragon? And the dragon is Satan, that old serpent, Satan. And he's going to give as the dragon his power to the beast, which is the Antichrist. And of course, some of you guys are going to vote for the Antichrist because he's going to feed you. You don't care who feeds you as long as you get fed. He's going to clothe you. Commerce is going to prosper for the first 3.5 years, if you know your eschatology. Yes, when he comes on the scene, boy, he's going to bring about a prosperity that everybody's going to be jumping and shouting, except those who know their God. And then after 3.5 years, he's going to be dealt a deadly wound, and he's going to be resuscitated. But according to the scripture, it won't be the same spirit in that body. There's going to be an opening of the pit, and a spirit that has been bound in that pit will be released to go into that body. So he'll be Antichrist phase 2. Antichrist phase 1, he dupes everybody. And folk who don't have any discernment will be sitting ducks. That's right. So when Antichrist phase 2 resuscitates, then you say, well, who's it going to be? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe, what's his name? He used to be an emperor. That's right, Nero. Nero. I think his spirit's going to be released from the pit, go into that body, and it's going to be all hell break loose for the next 3.5 years, or 42 months, or 1,260 days, because even believers were deceived. And if it were possible, the very elect shall be deceived. That's what Jesus said. And there are believers who are deceived now. And they're deceived by folk that you can see through like wax paper. What about the great deceiver when he comes? I'll tell you why they're going to be deceived, because they don't have a love for the truth. And God shall send them strong delusions. Now that's talking about the unsaved. Strong delusions that they should believe a lie or believe the lie. But there'll be a lot of believers who have an affinity toward the world and get caught up with that thing. And it's going to be given power to that beast to make war with the saints and to overcome them. So if you're not an overcomer now, you won't be an overcomer then, friend. You'll be left behind. And that's going to be bad news for all the believers that are left behind. Well, who are you going to vote for? Bishop, who are you going to vote for? I'll let you know later on in the year who I'm going to vote for. And until then, it's my pleasure to bring you some news, my friends. It's time to awaken. See you next time.